5 colors that make men notice older women instantly. Have you ever felt like you're slowly fading into the background of the world around you? Not because you've changed, but because the world stopped seeing you as a woman full of light. After 60, they tell us we should be graceful, quiet, age-appropriate. But I'm here to say the opposite. You haven't passed your time. You are the moment, and sometimes it just takes the right color to make an entire room look up and see you again. This isn't a fashion video. This is about your right to be seen, about the neuroscience of color, and why it can reawaken energy, attention, and even the quiet confidence you thought you'd left behind. Stay until the end, because I'm giving you a color palette not made for youth, but made for wisdom. If you believe age does not equal invisibility, hit like, subscribe, and share this with the woman you love most. Why color matters more after 60. When we're young, our presence feels natural, automatic. A glance held a little longer, a smile returned with ease. But after 60, something subtle begins to shift. It's not just about how we look. It's about how the world responds to our presence. You're still you, but the light you carry no longer seems to reflect in the eyes around you. And that leads many women to quietly tuck away their most radiant selves. But there is one tool, gentle yet powerful, that helps you reclaim your space without saying a word. Color. According to research from the University of Winnipeg, people form 90% of their first impressions within 90 seconds. And up to 85% of that impression is based on color alone. The colors you wear don't just express style. They trigger emotion, awaken memory, and shape unconscious perception. Science calls this the effect on the limbic system, the part of the brain that governs emotion and attraction. But this isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. A soft olive scarf, a sapphire blue blouse. They may not turn back the clock, but they bring you back to yourself, not to stand out, but to be seen fully as the woman you've become. The first color, sapphire blue, quiet confidence. Some colors don't shout, but they make people stop, not because they're loud, but because they radiate presence. Sapphire blue is one of those colors. It's not the playful blue of youth, nor the stern navy of authority. It's a deep, calm, steady blue. And in that stillness lies confidence, grace, and strength, refined over time. According to a study from the University of British Columbia, deep blue tones make others perceive you as trustworthy, composed, and emotionally intelligent. These are not qualities you need to prove. They are qualities you've earned. Sapphire blue flatters neutral undertones and beautifully highlights silver, salt and pepper, or white hair, creating a striking, elegant contrast. Walk into a room with a soft, sapphire scarf, a well-fitted blouse, or a structured blazer in this shade, and you won't need to say, "Look at me," but people will. And what they'll sense is this: a woman who knows herself, confident, whole. You can wear this shade in silk shirts, tailored jackets, scarves near the face. Even eyeglass frames in sapphire blue make a graceful statement. Presence doesn't have to be loud. It just needs to be clear. Sapphire blue is the color of a woman who's weathered storms, and now stands in her calm brilliance. Olive green, warm energy and emotional depth. Not all charm comes from what dazzles. Some colors reach into the heart, not through the eyes, but through a feeling. Olive green is one of those colors. It speaks of nature, of grounding, of wisdom shaped over time. Unlike bright, youthful greens, olive green carries the energy of experience, gentle yet powerful. In color psychology, olive symbolizes wisdom, peace, and quiet strength, qualities a woman over 60 knows intimately. It doesn't attract through brightness, but through a sense of safety. It's not loud, yet others feel drawn to it, drawn to you. Science supports this too. Earth tones like olive create a feeling of approachability. They flatter aging skin, never harsh, never draining. Instead, olive warms the complexion, softens facial lines, and harmonizes beautifully with salt and pepper or silver hair. And interestingly, olive green evokes warmth, trust, and connection in the male psyche. It reminds them of nature, vitality, and an effortless kind of femininity. Want to bring olive into your wardrobe? Try a soft knit dress, a light safari-style jacket, or a woven scarf in a cozy fabric. Pair it with antique gold jewelry, copper tones, or linen textures, and you'll find that you don't just look good, you feel like yourself again. Olive green doesn't shout your beauty. It whispers that you are undeniably here. Deep mustard, warmth, character, and unfading grace. Some colors never go out of style. They just wait for someone seasoned enough to wear them. Deep mustard is one of those colors. It's not the bright yellow of youth, but the golden hue of a late autumn sun. Gentle, grounded, and full of depth. Many women shy away from yellow, worried it's difficult on mature skin. But deep mustard is the opposite. It brings out a natural glow, like soft sunlight warming your cheekbones. In color psychology, deep mustard evokes creativity, wisdom, and quiet confidence. It tells others that you've lived, you've learned, and yet, you're still vibrantly alive. It's a curious color, one that invites people to look again, to want to know more. Especially for men, earthy yellows like mustard inspire warmth, trust, and emotional closeness, a rare and treasured feeling in later life relationships. So what pairs well with deep mustard? Try a mustard silk blouse under a cocoa brown jacket, or a soft scarf with hints of golden turmeric. Add aged brass or matte gold jewelry, and you'll notice people look at you, not just with interest, but with quiet respect. This isn't a color that shows off. It's a color for someone who's lived and who chooses to shine on her own terms. Plum wine. Allure through depth and wisdom. People often think of red when they speak of attraction, but for the seasoned woman, plum wine, a deep, rich plum hue, holds a more enduring kind of allure. It's not loud, and it's certainly not forgettable. There's mystery in it, a quiet sophistication, a sense of lived experience. Plum wine isn't just beautiful, it's a silent declaration, a statement that says, I know who I am. It sits somewhere between deep burgundy and twilight violet, holding the emotional depth of someone who has loved, lived, and grown. In color psychology, plum wine is linked with elegance, intellect, and emotional richness. It stirs the imagination and often makes people pause, longer just to take it in. On silver hair, on cool or neutral toned skin, This color creates a striking, graceful contrast. No need for heavy makeup. A simple plum sweater or a flowing silk dress, paired with lipstick in a matching shade, can radiate the quiet majesty of a queen without a crown. Men, when drawn to this color, often describe a sense of depth and fascination. There's no need for flirtation, no rush, just the magnetic pull of a conversation too good to end. At 60 and beyond, a woman doesn't need to dress up to be noticed. She only needs to wear what reflects the richness she already holds within. And plum wine, that is the color of her essence. Stone gray, quiet strength and elegant dignity. If every color were a personality, stone gray would be the essence of quiet confidence. Not as bold as red, nor as soft as pink. Stone gray brings a calm beauty, intellectual presence, and inner strength. Like a woman who has lived long enough to no longer need to prove anything. In color psychology, gray symbolizes stability, wisdom, and reliability. It sends a powerful message. I am here, I am listening, and I know who I am. For older women, stone gray holds a special kind of magic. It gently contrasts silver hair, enhances facial features, and draws attention to the eyes, without needing makeup. Men often respond to this color not with their eyes, but with their intuition. They feel drawn to the steadiness, to the quiet power behind the woman who wears it. No need for extravagant outfits. A tailored stone gray wool coat, a soft silk scarf, or a pair of suede shoes in the same tone is enough to create an unforgettable presence. Stone gray doesn't make you loud. It makes you impossible to overlook. Because this is the color of a woman who doesn't ask for permission to shine. She simply already does. How to apply this color palette in everyday life. You don't need to overhaul your wardrobe or spend hours shopping to bring these colors into your life. Sometimes, all it takes is a sapphire scarf, an olive blouse, or a plum wine accessory. Just enough to awaken a quiet confidence that's been waiting inside you. Start with the area people notice first. Above the waist. Shirts, scarves, glasses, earrings. These are strategic spots to introduce color and draw the eye naturally. Then, follow the seasons. Spring. Olive green, stone gray, soft and balanced. Summer. Sapphire blue or deep mustard. Vivid, but never loud. Fall and winter. Plum wine. Warm, rich, and refined. Not ready to wear a bold-colored dress just yet? Try this instead. Pair a deep mustard scarf with a gray coat. Carry a plum wine handbag with a classic black outfit. Wear wine red lipstick for a dinner out. Color isn't about trying to look younger. It's about showing up more fully, not to hide your age, but to honor the life you've lived. You don't need anyone's permission to shine. Just choose the color you love and step out into the world like there's still so much left to explore. Color is how you show up without fading away. There are women who walk into a room and don't need to say a word, and yet people listen. Not because they're loud, not because they're young, but because they know how to be present. At 60, 70, or even 80, the goal isn't to get attention. It's to make sure you don't disappear from your own story. And color, though it may seem like just a fashion detail, is the very first language the world uses to read you. Science tells us, within the first 90 seconds of seeing someone, up to 90% of our impression comes from color. Not weight, not age, not wrinkles, but the energy your colors give off. A sapphire blue blouse doesn't just help you stand out. It makes people feel she's calm, she's wise, she's alive. A deep mustard scarf catches the light, and suddenly, someone stops to really hear what you have to say. An olive green dress might remind someone of their mother, or of a woman who's walked through storms and still carries gentleness. Each shade isn't about looking pretty. It's about not fading into the background. It's about showing up fully as the woman you've become. You don't have to dress like the young. You don't have to hide behind dark colors. Wear what says loud and clear, I'm still here, and I am still remarkable. Conclusion: a color palette for strength, not for the young, but for the wise. Today, you've walked through a palette that isn't just about fashion, but about rediscovering yourself. From sapphire blue, the quiet authority of grace, to olive green, evoking the depth and resilience of nature. From deep mustard, the glow of a spirit that never fades, to plum wine, where experience becomes unexpected allure, and finally to stone gray, the calm gaze of a woman who no longer needs to prove anything. You see, these colors aren't meant to make you younger. They're meant to let the world see more clearly the woman you've become. If you saw a part of yourself in any of these shades, click like and share this video with another remarkable woman. And if you want to keep celebrating beauty through strength, not pressure, hit subscribe to join us each week. Because age doesn't dim your light. Silence does. So today, pick a color and let the world hear you again.